Welcome back. Today I am joined by the fantastic Petra Blacklock. Can't get my words out this morning. Petra is a member of my Women in Business Leon C group, and she has a business called Photography by Petra. She's been in the industry for 18 years, running her business for 12. Although that wasn't part of the original plan. So we're going to get into that a little bit. We're going to have a chat about why that wasn't the original plan on today's showcase. But it was one of the best decisions she ever made. So we will get right into that. And she does family, maternity, newborn, brand, and headshots, as well as beautiful women's, I don't know if I can say this word, women's portraiture. You can correct me on that later, including boudoir shoots. She creates more than just images. It's about experiences where people feel seen, comfortable, and confident, which I love because we don't all love being in front of a camera, do we? So we're going to get into it. So welcome, Petra. It's
Thank you.
fantastic to have you with us. Now, a bit of a forewarning, Petra does have a bit of a cough. So if we go off on a coughing fit, we apologise. Stick with us.
Yeah,
It's all part of just normal life that happens, isn't it?
exactly. Thank
Exactly.
you for
Okay.
having me.
No, you're absolutely welcome. It's great to see you. So let's get straight into it. You've been in the industry for 18 years, but you never set out to be a business owner. What happened and what changed and why the pivot?
Well, it was kind of unexpected, unplanned, and kind of cliche as well, because the story is that I was kind of forced out of employment. Yeah, after my second maternity leave, and at the time, I kind of knew that their business wasn't doing very well, and I was perhaps the spare part that they kind of didn't need. So I found myself on this crossroad. I was definitely going to find a new employment. That was the plan. And I was trying, I had a lot of connection at the time um, with a lot of fellow photographers. So I was hoping that I will find somewhere. Um, However, my husband was like, "How about if you just go by yourself?" I'm like, "Oh my God, no."
That's so
Um,
easy, isn't it? It's so easy just to like set your own business up and
do you
start
know,
something new.
exactly. Like, I mean, I studied business. That's my background. I'm former accountant, so I know a lot about business, but not about running the business. So at the time, I was like, "Oh my God, I can't even imagine being on maternity leave, having 3-year-old and 1-year-old." After my first baby was born, I kind of dipped into a little bit into newborn photography, and I thought maybe I can just offer it on the side to my part-time job. So I did a little bit of a practice after he was my little guinea pig. And I really wish I had photos of him, the kind of photos that I take now.
You take
But
now.
yeah, but that's not true at all. But it is learned skill, definitely, being a newborn photographer, and how to handle babies. So that was pretty much the starting point of my business.
Yeah. So you
Um,
say the husband says just go for it, and you're like, "Oh, why not?"
yeah,
I think
I
that's how a
did.
lot of women in business do start. They just need that person that's behind them going, "Yeah, you can do it. You can
Yeah,
do it. You can
because
absolutely
I
do it."
definitely didn't think that I could do it.
Mm.
I didn't have the audacity even to even imagine what it could be. But I think at the time, like, when you are in, out of maternity leave, you kind of spend a lot of the time with kids. And I think if not then, like if I couldn't allow myself then when I had a lot of time, but not like a lot of time, but I could make time to maybe explore that idea. So yeah, I did. And I explored more than that idea. I explored my style as well, like the way I wanted to provide and have the client experience with me, because it was very prescribed when I worked for someone else. And it was like in and out, like filling the hot seats kind of thing,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
with a lot of overheads, which is understandable. So there was no real connection with clients. You done their session, you kind of met them. Someone else did the sales call, someone else did the viewing part. So you could have done their session, but you never seen them again.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny, isn't it? We can write our own rules when we run our own businesses. So I know I've definitely felt this having kind of worked in corporate for 30 years and then set my own business up at the start of 2021. It's how I want to do business. So we feel like we should do things in a certain way. Ultimately, these are our businesses, and all the things I learned through corporate, I took all the things that were really great,
Yeah.
and then I have ignored all the things that I think, well, I would never treat a client like that. I would never do that in that way. I want the full ownership, and we take the best bits and leave the other stuff behind. But I think sometimes we need to go through that cycle to go, that's not how I would run my own business. I don't think we always connect the dots on that, but it is absolutely
No.
true. We go, I'm not doing it like that because they treated them really badly, or I didn't get to know the client well enough because they only had one touch point.
And that's what differentiates one business to the next.
100%.
You know,
100%.
like we always talk about like, oh, it's very important to show not just the feature, but also like um, e- no- not just the feature, but also like oh my God, my words just
Your
left me.
words. It's the end of the week.
Yeah, I mean it's
Just
yeah, it's right. Um, but also the benefits of like,
yeah,
oh, if I work with you, um, how can you make my world better? So it's not about just what's in it, but actually how it makes me feel as well, working with
100%.
someone. That's what I meant. So
100%. I mean, I say this to when I work with clients all the time, and we are talking about particularly their offers. So as well as owning WiBN Essex, I'm also a strategist. But when we talk about their offers and what it is they actually sell, and clients will go down into, well, I do X, Y, and Z. I take an accountant as an example because you mentioned that was something that you did. I do tax advice, bookkeeping, accounts. You mentioned all these, effectively these services, but that's not really what's going to get me excited about working with you. It's all about the transformation, as you say, the feeling.
that's the
How do
word.
you make me feel? I know I reached out to my accountant, very close to um, the deadline for submitting self-assessment. I never leave it this late, but I did this year. And I reached out to him. He's like, look, we'll take care of that for you. And just that feeling of relief that I'd had this thing on my to-do list for so long. I usually do it between Christmas and New Year because I'm a real saddo like that. But I usually do it then. But I just hadn't. And it was building in me. And I knew I was going on holiday. So it had to be done by a certain date. But how you can take or give someone a feeling. So for me at that point, it was like relief, and it was
Yeah.
done within a day, and I knew it was right, and I could just not do that. We need to be selling, as you say, the transformation, the feeling. And as photographers, I mean, I'm connected with quite a few photographers, but you're also different as well in the way that you do
We
that and you
all different,
approach it,
aren't
and the
we?
different feeling you give. You offer very, very different services. So let's talk a little bit about um, the photography side. So you talk when I see you certainly at WiBN, and we are networking and we're talking about our businesses, you talk about visibility
Yeah.
through the lens of photography. But what does that kind of being visible really mean when somebody steps in front of your camera?
Okay. Simply, it's just being in the photos. But when they step in front of my camera, I kind of don't need them to be anything or think about anything except just being themselves, really. Um, and I totally get, and I feel like attract clients who pretty much are either camera shy or hate their photos or hate the camera, or some kind of version of that. But actually, um, I letting go of the expectations of what is it going to like, what the outcome is going to be. Am I photogenic enough? Am I good enough to have a photos or beautiful photos? Um, it depends on the photo shoot as well, like family and newborn photography. It's more about being present. Like I can't um, I can't encourage my parents to be more present than they are present. Like I just
Yeah.
want them to lean into the connection with each other, with the kids, letting off the expectations for the outcome, for the photos. Everyone has got this vision and dream of these like beautiful photographs. But actually, reality is that the morning might have been really like didn't go to plan. The baby
Yeah.
didn't sleep last night. It's very grumpy this morning. But actually allowing the space to um, express, um, to see a little joys in the little moments, it makes such a difference. And not just in photos, because we create, these lovely memories and, they will be captured in photos, but actually it's the experience itself. I want my clients to have a nice time so they can talk about like a little stories that happen on the way
Yeah.
and we'll have it in, captured in the moment.
In the moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for businesses, it's a little different. I think even though clients feel the fear, I feel the fear today. Like, this is not something I do lightly, being on a video, but getting a little bit of out of comfort zone is okay, in small doses, and we built up. And that's what I do with my brand clients. We built up through preparation. It's extensive. We dig deep into, what makes them and unique, unique brands, unique businesses, what they want to capture, how they want to show up. So the kind of visible parts is all already talked about, and what's left is, more the excitement for the photo shoot and for the outcome. And even though the fear comes for a ride with us, and perhaps never leaves, I'm always there to guide. I'm never leaving anyone, no matter what photo shoot, just kind of knowing what to do, unless you are a model who kind of knows how to pose. Like, who knows how to pose? No
Yeah.
one knows what
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
do. So, but it's more about being relatable to them, and because that's when they feel more at ease, more comfortable with me, with the camera there. I'm more like a friend than a photographer there. I want them to be confident in themselves, in me, that I know what I'm doing and that they're doing the right thing, right way, or whatever. There is no right or wrong, but it just gives them a little bit more confidence in the process.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I've seen, you have taken business shots for several of the ladies in the Women in Business group that you're in, and more local groups, and your photography is very much like that. It is the natural side of those ladies that I see when we're networking. So maybe when we're doing that pre-networking, we're having a bit of a chit chat about how everybody's doing and what's
yeah,
going on and how's business. That's what your photos represent, not when that person stands up and maybe does their monthly minute and feels a bit awkward and a bit like, oh, I've got to get this out, or reading it from a piece of paper. Your photos do very much reflect, the real person. I had my daughter had her university graduation last year, and they sent us up and down this line where, Jess and I have got a photo together. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice photo, but it is very staged. Stand there, hold the scroll, smile, shoulders back, chin, whatever. I just
yeah,
remember having all these instructions barked at me because it was a conveyor belt. It
yeah,
was very much, you get 3 shots. And the best picture I have got from her graduation day is her can't even remember where it was on campus, but she's laughing and she's sticking two fingers up at me. And that is the best photo of the day, because in the moment it was like, oh my God, I'm so sick of having my photo taken, and with this thing they've got on their head and the cloak that doesn't match her outfit, because she's very much about matching her outfit. And that's the best photo. So that's the one that sits on my wall, not the one that I paid a huge amount of money for, that's very staged. But I guess that's the production line of that kind of
Yeah, and
photography.
it's attached to a feeling as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, photos do, there are such a nice way to tell stories, and you have got a story attached to one photo and then the other photo, and you know which one makes you feel better as
yeah.
well. And don't get me wrong, like portraiture, that's the word that you were thinking of.
Struggling with.
Um, Portraiture is there is place for it, like if you didn't have the other photo, be most happy with the formal one, because you would have something that is um, perhaps a good quality, and maybe if they gave you a little bit more time and were a little bit more compassionate, maybe it would have different feel for you all. I think I don't know how many hundreds of people were graduating. I think there is just not that time.
Yeah,
And I think that is what I struggled when I was in comparison to what I do now. Like I give time, and that time has so much value, because I want to know that I'm a good fit for someone as well. Like
yeah,
I'm not photographer for everyone. Everyone's looking for something else, and I have got a lot of photographers that I can direct people to. Like for example, for weddings. I've done quite a few, but it's just I know it's right now. Like never say
yeah,
never, because I never said
yeah.
I'm
You
going to
never
do
know.
this. But right now, I just don't see myself enjoying it as much as I enjoy other parts of what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I never had pictures of the girls taken when they were really young. It wasn't kind of a thing when
Yeah.
my girls were real babies. But I do love seeing, you see the photos of the babies, and you just want to squidge them, don't you? You just
Yes,
like,
yeah.
and I remember being like that with the girls, looking at their feet, and just, Jasmine, my eldest, was she was a little Buddha. She didn't walk till she was nearly 16 months. So she just had all these kind of rolls, and yeah, she was just gorgeous. So I do wish I had photos like that. But it's capturing it's capturing everything from, as you say, from the maternity all the
Mm.
way through, and having these photos. I mean, I don't know if you've come across them, but I had an aura frame for Christmas. So on my kitchen wall, it's a digital frame that you get an app. And every time like a memory comes up on Facebook, or I take a photo, like there's some stuff that came up today from skiing a couple of years ago, I can just throw them straight onto the aura frame. And then they are just rotating in my kitchen every day. So I've
Oh, I see
always
what you mean.
got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing photos that come up with those amazing memories and those
I was thinking
connections and
of
those
Aura
feelings.
that we
Oh
have.
no,
Yeah, I
no,
was like, oh,
it's a brand of digital photo
okay.
frame, but where they used to be, where you would put an SD
Yeah,
card
yeah,
in,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and it was just too much. It's too much hard work. This is just an app on your phone, and you can put a picture up, show it on the screen, and yeah, it's just really good fun
Oh, that's
to
really cute.
see all those memory moments that you think, oh yeah, that takes me back to that ski trip, or that other trip I've been on, or when I was out for a friend's birthday, or whatever it is. That's what photography is all about, isn't it? It's not about this.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
and that is the thing that, for it to be visible as well, it just gives
yeah,
us a sense of belonging as well. And just, like I work from home, and I have got a lot of pictures around me. Like not it's not covered, but I have got few like core things that I really love. And just that, like, you're passing by and you have a little glance and you just think like, oh my God, like look how cute you were. I do love that. Like I love having memories on display, definitely.
Let's get a little bit into kind of your business side. So you've recently introduced two new services, the
Yeah.
Children's Portrait Grid Series and your Image Strategy Power Hour. Tell me about the oh, such a tongue twister. Tell me about the Children's Portrait Grid Series. What is it and why now? Is there something that's come up that you think actually this is the right time to do this?
Sure. So they called Little Personalities a portrait series. It's a bit of a
Like
mouthful.
that.
Do you know, I did ask my husband, like, I had about 10 names for it. And he's like this one. And I kind of went with it, and then I kind of can't say it, and it's quite long. But let's just call them portrait series. It's fine. So um, they are kind of a nod to my beginnings, I guess. And as we are talking about, little kids, and we can watch our children like when they're sleeping, and some emotion like just fleeting
Mm,
crosses their faces, and that's just what it reminds me of. And I had this little cute little boy pre-Christmas in my studio, and he he's two, so you can imagine how chaotic, and it was chaotic. It was booked on a day for the day. They came half an hour later, and because they were kind of in a rush for these photos, and I was like, well, it's fine, like I can move my things.
yeah,
So we did, and I think everyone was kind of like, it was maybe rushed in
yeah.
hindsight. Maybe perhaps that's why he was like, he just would not do anything we wanted him to. He would literally do the opposite. He found my peg basket, and at the end, where he was throwing pegs everywhere. But what was so mesmerizing about him was that he literally wore emotion on his face. And we had these like tens and tens of pictures. Tens and tens, is that how it says? But anyway, we had so many pictures of him just doing all sorts of things, and he was just so adorable. And when we put them together, I was like, oh my God, it's just like a grid of expressions. And the other thing, perhaps why I kind of wanted to do it, it it connects everything I do as well. Like, and I always say to my clients, do not tell your children to smile. I don't want them to smile at me.
Mm.
I don't want them to say cheese because I'm not cheese. Like, and they find it funny or whatever, or say camembert and they look at me,
Oh, she's so
depending
posh.
on their palate. But, you know, I always, um, I always thought, even like my childhood, when you say even about your girls, photographs were taken for occasion. There was no,
Yes.
you know, it was film camera. We didn't even have a camera. My godfather was the one that documented our family, like extended family. So we have got some photos, but we don't have like thousands or hundreds of photos. And so, when the occasion arrives, the only expression that was desired was a full grin with all the teeth showing, and no matter how you felt in that moment,
Yeah.
um, you know, and I just think there is so much more to us than a smile.
Yeah.
And
A false smile at that.
yeah, and I just wanted to celebrate the wholeness of a person, of a child, and capturing the curiosity, the thoughtfulness, like I had a couple of boys last weekend here, and one of them was quite shy, and his Rubik cube made him feel so much better. And just the process of him starting really excitedly, then being thoughtful about it, and then
Yeah.
kind of like finishing with like, like ta-da.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just so much more interesting than just having kind of like cheesy grin that is picture perfect. And it goes for the kids and into adulthood. We all have this
Yeah.
face that is ready for a picture, and and it's not genuine most of the time. And I always try to break through that barrier of, you know, I don't need you to, be ready for me. Just be you.
Just be.
Just do.
Yeah.
Just be.
Just be. Yeah. Yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it? So when somebody goes for your grid series, is that a series of photos that you take in one shoot that then becomes almost, as you say, like the boy with the Rubik's Cube going through all of the emotions of
Yeah.
I remember being able to do a Rubik's Cube. I couldn't do it now, but is it a
Sorry.
series of photos that are in that moment, or is it I come at two, I come at three, I come at four for different ages?
So it just, I mean, it can. I would love it to be as a series of things,
Like
but
that.
no, it's a one session, and pretty much we talk. It's not about me saying, "Oh, can you show me your face when you are angry? Can you show me your face when you're
Yeah.
happy?" It's not about that. It's literally a chat about their interests, about school, about friends, about something they love doing at the weekend. And we talk about all sorts of, we were talking about pets they wanted. We talked about football and position they play. And it's just through conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And you see
I,
what people then lights people up, what
yeah,
they get
exactly.
really animated about, or yeah, you see all that range of emotion. It's funny, isn't it? Because I'm thinking of when I run strategy workshops with clients on a one-to-one, and we're sat at the table, I've got the pens out, we've got the brown paper out, I'm asking them questions, they're giving me answers. Now I think about it, I almost need you to shoot that, because they go through a range of emotions. There is that, oh my God, I've been, I thought I had it all sorted, and actually I'm not anywhere near where I want to be. And then they realize, actually, yes, there is work to do, but it's manageable work. And they go through a range of emotions, coming out at the end going, actually, I feel really motivated and ready to do what I need to do. It's almost like I need you to catalog one of those.
This
So
is
I can
literally
I
what
can see that. Yeah.
WIBN gives to me. Like, I feel so much more inspired and motivated in my work. Like, sometimes I come in and I'm like, okay. But then listening to everyone, just, what they're up to is
Yeah.
just so, it gives me a little bit of oomph, like, right,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready now for
Yeah.
the
It's
next
funny, isn't
week.
it? The last time we met, one of the members, when they came in, said I wasn't going to come today because I'm really not in a good headspace. One of our quite bubbly members, she said, it's just been a bit of a week, and she said, but I brought myself along. And at the end, I said to her, how are you feeling? She said, I'm so glad I came. I know I've still got all that stuff I need to do, but I actually feel like I can do it now. Whereas I had, sort of wound myself down into quite a deep hole, thinking what is going on. So I'm glad you feel like that as well. Last question. We can't not talk about photography and not talk about AI. Because
Okay.
every phone has a camera now. I mean, I think I've either got 7 or 9 cameras on my mobile phone. I only ever use one, so I don't know why I need all of them. But everyone's walking around with a camera, aren't they? And now with AI being able to produce stuff, why do you think professional photography still matters? Why would you say to people, have professional shots done?
Mm. I'm a huge, huge advocate for capturing real moments. And, they are personal, relatable to your audience. And I do think that this content, which is so instant with your phone or with our phones, it almost is like adding story around the anchor that professional photography is, because that is the almost the consistent part to your branding,
Yeah,
and almost um, like a connection to your business, like a consistent connection. So I definitely think that having professional photographs shows professionalism. Um, it kind of builds on the trust as well
Yeah.
and creates that consistency. And then the real moments through the phone, it almost like builds on the connection to the founders, the people behind like face of the brands, um, and kind of feels personal and relatable. And I guess it's like an insight, like to our
Yeah.
daily life.
Yeah.
And you can share how much or how little you
You
want,
want.
but the
Yeah.
mix of
100%.
both definitely create this balance and almost like a genuine insight into one's brands, which I think that is so important with the AI advancing
Yeah.
that, because I struggle to recognize what's AI and what's not. My
What's
kids
not?
are
Yeah.
so much better at spotting. They would be like, Mom, that's AI. I'm like, it was so good. Like, it felt so real. So I feel like a fool sometimes because I do. And even the avatars, I'm a little bit cringe. Like,
Yeah, I'm very cringe. I'm very cringe on avatars. All these trends that go round where people make themselves into the next thing. I'm like, no.
but
It's
why
funny, isn't
would
it?
you want
Because
to?
yeah,
Why would you want to have like a cartoon of yourself? Like, I mean, each to their own.
yeah,
So, there is no judgment. I just don't know why would someone want to do that.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because the AI can, yes, you can, instruct it to make you a photo in a certain way, but ultimately we're real people with
Mm.
real human emotions. And actually, as you say, if you can capture that photo in that moment with that emotion, that is always going to be so much better than something that is pre-canned. I mean, I think I could talk to you about AI and photography for a long time. I've got some quite big feelings about it, which I don't want to start ranting, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, I mean, I can see like how much fun it would be, perhaps to, see like what they make out of me. And some of them are very spot on, but some of them are like, that does not look like you or whatsoever. So yeah, and people still share it. So I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
bit, bit, bit
just
of
old
fun, bit of
school.
fun. Yeah. I'm going to wrap up. It's been fantastic chatting with you today. It's
Thank you for
always lovely to
having me.
see you at Leon C. You are always a little bright, shining light that comes in. We're never quite sure what Petra's going to come in and say, which is always part of the fun of
Oh, I
networking.
need to be a
As
little bit better at this.
no, you don't. No, you don't. Do not change your personality. I will put in the notes for this video how you can get in touch with Petra. Please go and check her work out because she does have a very distinct style. I love your photography. I love it when you take pictures of the ladies at WiBN and they absolutely rave about how you make them feel in the session and then the product that they get after, which allows them to, showcase their business with professional photos, but they're not, stand here style,
Yeah.
those awful photos that perhaps you get. So thank you for joining me.
Thanks for
Have a
having me.
fantastic rest of your day, and I
Thank
will catch up
you.
with you soon.
Thanks so much, Vicky. Thanks.